The Jeff Dwoskin Show presents Crossing the Streams with host Jeff Dwoskin, Bob Phillips, Ron Lippett, Howard Rosner, Sal D'Amelio, and Zach Wiseman, and today's special guest. Thank you for joining us as we talk about what we are streaming right here on Crossing the Streams.
Great. All right. Welcome to the Three Geeks Podcast, a conversation with Max and Justin. We have Pasha and Gene here. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. Good.
Doing all right.
All right. Well, let us know a little bit. Let us know a little bit more about you guys. Gene or Pasha, whoever wants to go first. Let us know about you.
Pasha, why don't you go first?
Okay, my name is Pasha Gerard. I am a writer, producer, actor, and this is my first run at a full-length feature film. Luckily, with Gene Blalock as my director, and our fellow producer John Harp. And what an amazing ride it's been, considering also from last year, of course, and how things are postponed. But everything's all paying off. And sorry, I'm not talking about myself, am I?
It's all good. I mean, it's all great. I mean, it's all just a conversation.
Yeah, I was born in the Philippines. Came out here when I was 9 years old, and always been just passionate about filmmaking. And I love basketball. I'm the oldest of 7 boys.
Ooh.
And I love comic books. I'm a geek as well.
Nice. Glad to have you.
What was the first movie that got you like into film? You're like, I could see myself doing this forever.
Wow, great question. I would have to say, we all have to pay respects to the greats, of course. Like Scorsese and Coppola, Spielberg, of course. But for me, it would have to be Jon Favreau. But Jon Favreau writing Swingers.
Okay.
And of course Doug Liman directed it. But Swingers for me was the movie that was the catalyst to push forward, where it was like, you know what, I'm doing exactly the reason why, and that's for me, it would be Swingers. Jon Favreau Swingers.
All right. No, I think that film that's a good one too. And
yeah,
we're actually just talking about.
Yeah.
Chef was good too. Yeah.
I love Chef.
I'm not sure if you guys knew, but that whole Swingers film was filmed in an area called Los Feliz in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And it's only within all the locations were filmed within probably like a 2-mile radius, and it's called Los Feliz. It was very, very hip. Like all the dancing with like the Derby, which is no longer there, by the way, but the Dresden, which are all the bar, when they're picking up chicks at all those bars, those were all in Los Feliz. So, and that was a continual hangout for when I was during that time. And I was just like, oh my God, these guys beat us to it. You know what I mean? Beat us to it. But yeah, that was definitely the movie for me.
That's awesome. All right. Thank you. Gene, how about yourself? I mean, I just heard a director, but what kind of got you into it? What's the backstory for Gene?
Yeah, no, I've always been, kind of in the arts, whether it was, physical painting and drawing or music or, filmmaking. But yeah, filmmaking was one of my first loves. It took a while before, because where I grew up in like rural Virginia, you didn't do art as a profession. It was something you did on the weekends after you did your 9-to-5 job and stuff like that. So it took a while before someone finally say to me, you can do this for a living. You can make movies for a living and do it. So it took a little while to do that, for that to happen for me. But yeah, it's one of my first loves was filmmaking. And, I still remember, seeing being a little small kid, seeing Star Wars and just being completely blown away that experiencing something like that, so.
All right. Well, so you guys just finished Carpe Noctem.
Yes.
So you want to tell us a little bit about that? What's the deal? What's going on there?
Carpe Noctem is about an underground singer who meets a drug dealer at a party, and they go out in search of a new mind-altering drug that is basically that can practically do anything. And it's called suggestives, because if you can suggest it to a person that's taking it, it will happen. And basically, not to give anything away, of course, but what can you use that for? And it takes place in one evening, by the way. So we actually had to all our shooting nights, 22 days of shooting was all night shots. So that was it was hard, but we did it. Yes.
Is that much harder to do at night? Like, I mean, all night is that,
I imagine cinematography is crazy hard. Right?
It was super easy for me. I'm a night owl. I don't go to bed until like 4 a.m. So for me, I was good to go. I'm like, hey, we're getting the set at 4 p.m. All right, cool. For me, it was easy. Very easy for me.
That's awesome. It was lighting kind of hard. I was just thinking about that. Everything dark. Was that hard to get everybody kind of in the shot and in the frame, like how you wanted it to be presented?
Yeah, a lot of it. I mean, it's always tricky shooting at night for sure. And we were doing a lot of run and gun. Like we actually shot in Los Feliz and stuff like that. So it's more about trying to look at what light is there and how you can accent it and use what's kind of there practically, and then bring in the other aspects of it. It's a hyper colored film, so we did have to bring in a lot of blues and reds to really accent it. But we were also shooting, that it also dictated which cameras we were using. We were using a camera that was super really good and super low light, so we can go 120,000 ISOs without too much noise and stuff like that. So it was definitely a different shoot for me in that sense, because I'm used to being able, having cameras on dollies and things like that. We were on gimbals here and moving really quickly. But yeah, it was definitely tricky to try and get some of the shots that we got.
That's awesome.
I mean, especially since we did pull permits for some of the locations.
You roll your eyes a little bit. Yeah. Make sure you don't look to your left when you're lying. It's all good.
Oh yeah, no. Someone's down the street on walkie-talkie. Don't do that, kid. Get a permit.
Go ahead.
Max. No, I was just wondering, was all the filming done during COVID, or was it before COVID? Were you impacted at all with filming with that?
No, we actually, all this was fully shot before COVID. I mean, it did. Good. COVID heading definitely deterred like how we were thinking about releasing the film and getting in contact with the distributors and stuff like that. But it did give us a little extra time to tweak things in post and stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, this was all shot right before COVID. So.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Pasha, you wrote this and you're producing?
Yes.
And you also acted in it.
And starring in it, yes.
Yes. So what's it like, when you put this whole thing down on paper and then you see it all come about? Like, how was that for you?
Well, it was a dream, straight up a dream. It was a passion project. I've been working on this for quite some time, and I put everything I got into this film. I took out my 401k. I borrowed everything from everybody. Just
shaking down the couch for the last little bit of change.
Banks, family, cousins, babysitters, dogs.
Yeah.
It was I put everything I got into it, and I just felt it was just everything that I put into it, and it's now coming to fruition, and that I'd like to share with you guys also that we're going to be signing with a distribution company.
Awesome.
Actually, this Friday.
That's exciting. That's super exciting.
Don't jinx it, Pasha.
Yeah. Here we go. We're
not going to work for it. Yeah.
The contract was sent, Gene.
Yes, the contract was sent.
The contract was sent, so we just have to, and just thank you for that question, Prime. Like we were excited that we had a big talk with them, and they were like, okay. So I said, which platforms do you think we're going to be having this on? And they named out all these platforms, and I'm absolutely floored. I'm absolutely like, wow, that's just great, and hopefully, it's just an amazing experience so far. And thank you again for Gene and for believing in the script, and we just all came together.
So, did you pull any of your brothers into the film? Like you wrote it, and so yeah. I was gonna say, did you bring any family in?
Yeah.
Or was that part you was like, hey, I'll loan you $10, but you gotta let me be an extra? Like,
absolutely, I did. I so did. Yeah, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
No, it's like it was a joke on the set. It's like, okay, which brother of this is which brother? Who's this?
Right. And it reminds you too. So like, most of my brothers are straight edge dudes. Sure. But I had to like, okay, you're gonna be goth tonight.
That'd been perfect.
Like panel leather gear and mesh and makeup and.
At least they got to they're straight in their real life. At least they got to be this other person for a little
while.
They
had to cosplay somebody else.
A safe experience with it.
Totally. Yeah.
That's super cool. So what was it like, how was you guys' set experience? Coming from an actor or coming from the director, like, have you been on, was it a loose set? Was it cool? Or, was it a little bit of tension? Like, how did you guys get through the whole filming and everything?
Honestly, it was the least tense set I've been on in a long time. This is it was really laid back. It was hectic because there are so many locations in the film, and there were some nights we're running from one location in Hollywood to one location in the Valley to get something shot. So it was a lot of really quick, setups and moves and stuff like that. But everyone on the team brought 100%. No one was, moaning or anything about anything. Everyone was ready to make this film and make it happen. And I think hopefully it shows, and hopefully it's what. Hopefully Pasha is happy with what we did with it, and took it. I think it went in a slightly different direction than what he had in his head at some point. But to his credit, he rolled with the punches, and it was really it was a really fun shoot.
Yeah. I have to say, if I may add on that, I mean, for me, it was definitely as being a producer as well. I do want to let you guys know that when we first started on this, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be the star, as a matter of fact. Because I was totally open on, if we can get the best actor out there. I was telling our fellow producer, John Hart, we were going through this, and they're like, would you be okay if we hired somebody else? And I was like, please, if you can find that person, please get them. But we just didn't have time, and I could do it pretty much.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, Pasha had written this. He knew the character better than anyone else.
I was gonna say, who else can play that? Yeah.
It's kind of a super. I always joke, it's kind of the superhero version of Pasha. If he was like this cool goth drug dealer, underground drug dealer. So it's kind of like the superhero version of himself. So I thought, when that came up, it was like, he knows a character better than anyone else, and let's see if he can do it. So,
well, can I add with that, guys, that the character's name in the film is GD. And that's actually Gene Blalock's initials. At one point, Gene was going like, "I'm GP, damn it." He knew that character very well as well.
So that he'd already named the character that before I was ever even involved in it. So.
Right.
Sure, you can say that now, but we know it's on paper.
It's all right. It's all right. You got to get your little initials in there. That's fine.
Pasha and I both, grew up as goth kids, and the I was in Chicago, he's here in LA, but at the time, yeah, we were both goth kids at heart. So
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It worked out. All right.
So I'm kind of curious, where did Carpe Noctem Seize the Night? Where did the name come from? When you were writing it, where did that come from?
For the most part, it's because it takes place in one evening.
Yeah.
Wednesday was a season night, and I was really surprised when I was like, I originally wanted to do titled "Seize the Night," and then I'm like, oh wait, I was like, I can't believe that no one's ever used Carpe Noctem.
There's a Latin term for this. Yeah.
Like I looked up and down, like I was like, Carpe Diem, of course, everybody knows Carpe Diem. But I'm just really surprised that no one has ever used this for anything, really. Maybe I think I found some kind of a cannabis firm.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
You should have got them to sponsor you. It'd been great.
That's the only one.
The crew had a hard enough time staying awake as it is.
Our craft services budget just really went up.
Craft services, man. Open up.
That would have been too cool. But no, that is also really interesting that like there's not a song or a band or anything with that name. Like that's Providence or what?
Right.
It's meant to be.
Yes.
So I know, Gene, you produced a lot of different things. Did you help kind of Pasha with any of this, or was it all? Yeah, I mean, you're both you've done producing before, right? So I'd imagine.
Yeah. No, I've produced a bit in the past as well. Pasha was working with John, who's been a producing partner of mine in the past first, and so they brought John brought the project to me after they had done some rewrites and stuff like that, and. When I read the script, I mean, to me, yes, it's got the drug elements, it's got the thriller elements. To me, it was a love story. It was boy meets girl, boy and girl fall in love. What do they do that night, and how do they go forward? I guess as far as producing, of course, I'm always got my input and try and do things, but I kind of left that to Pasha and John on this. Though I did kind of change the ending of the film, from what was originally in the script to kind of what's there now. So to Pasha's credit, he went along with it, and hopefully it's the right decision. So
yeah.
Well, and that's cool too. I mean, like nothing you ever really set out to do always ends up how you thought it would. So everything's a journey, and so how is that for you, Pasha? Like, I mean, you obviously wrote the thing, and then the ending has changed or whatever. But did you find yourself growing along with the project, or?
I did. I mean, honestly, of course, there's as we went on this journey. First of all, I would like to preface that when we first got together and started talking about it, I had to give up the creative control of my baby.
Oh,
and
okay.
we agreed that, Gene said, this is going to be, I'm directing, and it's going to be my film. And I said, okay. And I had to go with it, and that's absolutely, I trust his vision. I trust his passion for the story itself. I just, I went along, and just to have everybody, have a cohesive journey through and through.
I mean, as a director, I always try, especially if having writers involved. It's an interesting experience because a lot of times they're not involved on set. Writers aren't and stuff. But Pasha was such an integral part to the project. He says, I says it's my film, but I hopefully I always try and keep the vision of the person that created it, because they've got a certain passion, and I may see things differently here or there, but I always try and keep the spirit and their intent for the project and stuff. And hopefully, Pasha, I did that with your baby as well. So
we're good. I
think it's a bit more colorful than you originally thought it would.
Yeah. We're grateful.
It's awesome. It's really exciting. So I know you mentioned that it's going to be presented on different platforms. Can you tell us what platforms it's going to be on, or is that too hush-hush at the moment?
I mean, we have to sign with the distributor first, but typically, if it's like anything we've done in the past, any of my films in the past, it's on all the streaming networks. You can get it pretty much everywhere. Gotcha. What this distributor is talking about doing is having a release on one platform first, so everyone can kind of go there and see it, and then have it spread out. But we don't know that, we just got the contract, I think, today, Pasha, so we're kind of going to do the fine print on it. But I mean, anyone that's an independent filmmaker knows the pain of getting, a distributor. And I told Pasha and John right off the bat with this, like, I was not going to give this film to any distributor we worked with in the past. I had not been happy with them and their involvement in it. A lot of these distributors just take it and throw it out there, and it is what it is. So we really spent time looking for a distributor that we felt we could partner with, that understood the film. And because it's not everyone's going to sit at home on Friday night and watch this, but hopefully when the right audience finds this film, they're going to really love it. So it took us, long story short, it took us a while, but I think we have this distributor locked down that we like, and hopefully we'll make that announcement soon and get it out there and reveal the poster and the trailer, which all that hasn't been revealed yet. So hopefully.
That's about it. So someone, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, with COVID kind of, hopefully wrapping up here, are you guys excited to get out into some festivals or anything like that? Has that been in any of your planning or?
Yes. As a matter of fact, yeah, we recently talked about that. It doesn't, we can do it. We can both do it. We can still have it, hopefully by the end of summer, that will be out on these stream sites. At the same time, we still have the opportunity to submit to whichever festival we choose, and hopefully those two things will coincide. Where if it whatever gets picked at XYZ festival, and at the same time, you can actually see it on this, whether it be Hoopla or Canopy or Tubi, VOD or Amazon Prime at the same time. So everything is, we are able to do that at the same time. Yes.
It almost seems like the best of both worlds. You get a good review at a festival, and it rolls right into someone being able to watch it at home, right?
Yeah. Considering too, of course, because of we've been in quarantine for so long, then most of the movies that were postponed, either making them or putting them out there. Mm-hmm. So now it's like people are clamoring for new material. Really,
yeah, for sure.
So I think it was a blessing in disguise, I guess. Even though I was very much disappointed that we couldn't put it out sooner, but I think everything happens for a reason, and everything's going great.
Awesome. I had one more question, and it's out of left field. But did I read in your background, Pasha, that you were in a music video with Drake? I would like to hear about that.
Yeah, talk about that, Pasha.
Please. What?
Did our publicist put that down?
Yeah, she sure did.
No. We're following your career very closely.
I watch Drake every day.
Okay, here's the story with that. Okay, you're gonna hear it from me. This is
and then we'll have to dig for the real story after Pop.
That's right.
Right. It's the song. It's the song called "I'm Going." Hold on, I'm coming home.
Your publicist, hold on, we're coming home.
Yes, yeah, that's the video. Okay, and basically, so the director of that film is a guy named Pope, like Bill Pope, I believe. Anyways, he's a cinematographer of The Matrix.
Okay, sweet.
So I go on this audition, and I play. And I hear, okay, it's going to be a Drake, and it stars also Drake, but also Manolo from Scarface. What's his name?
I know what you're talking about. But
Manolo from Scarface is going to be the main bad guy as well. And I was supposed to play. I played the guy that kidnaps Drake's girl, holds her hostage, and she somehow uses her sex to have me, and she gets away, and I run around over there, right? So get on set, I meet Bill Pope, and he's like pretty much, hey man, you were awesome, I'm the one that hired you, pretty much. And I'm like, thanks. And then Drake comes in, and I get my own trailer, and then I meet Drake, and I meet the other lead actors, and Manolo from Scarface. What is his name? Anyway. Anyways,
not get a trailer on Carpe Noctem.
Anyway, so I get over there, and seriously, so they're like, so nice to meet you. And I promise you, if you ever watch that video, everybody in that video, the henchmen,
Yeah.
they're goons. I mean, they're all like UFC fighters. They're all like Thai kickboxers, tattoos, like Cholo style, and they're all like 6'9", right? I get on the set and they're like, "Who's Pasha?" right? And they see me, and I'm like 5'11", $135. And we go like, "Oh, you must be the brains of the."
That's right.
Yeah,
You're paying everybody. Yeah.
Right. And I get over there, and then so I meet everybody, and then we're about to go and take, and then I go in my trailer, and then the first AD comes up, and he goes, Pasha. Well, actually, I'll just keep you the long story longer. I got cut out, and they put in a goon instead of me.
Oh man, come on, Drake.
I got paid though.
All right. I mean, you know, that's the most gangster. That
Right.
is the most gangster. Like, I'm just gonna get paid to kind of be here. Like, I don't have to actually do anything.
But the producer actually, like, the producer comes up to me and he goes, "Pasha, I think you're a fine actor, but we just didn't think that you look like the rapist dude." You know what I mean?
That's quite a compliment. That's
Yeah,
quite
you
a
know, like,
compliment.
you know,
You look like a rapist. Let's go back
Yeah,
to the trailer.
totally. You weren't a rapist dude. So that's what happened with that. But I almost didn't want to put that there, but I can't believe.
No, I mean, I saw that and I was like, this will be fun to talk about.
No, oh my goodness.
But if you ever watch the video, and then there's a part where the couples are leaving the room, you can pause and you'll see me on the wall.
There's Pasha.
So did you get Drake for the soundtrack for the movie at all? Like, did you get like Drake? You owe me one.
Oh my god, that's probably like the whole budget for the movie.
Yeah. No, I feel like he owes you. Like, I mean, they called you down there. They said you were going to be the man. They kind of just put you up on the wall. Drake owes you one. At least one track.
I guess my whole question to this, Pasha, is like, who looked at you in the casting and said, that dude's a thug? Like, that dude can do this, right?
I'd be like, hey, I wouldn't be mad if they're like, you know what, we just don't see you as a rapist. Like, I tried to do it.
I'd be very
it doesn't work.
That's
like, I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't see me as a rapist either. Like, that's fine. Oh, that is too good. All right, dude. I'm all out of questions.
I have one more random one.
Okay.
Okay.
What's it like to own an independent film production company? I see Seraph Films, if I'm saying that right. Yeah.
You know, it kind of fell into it. It was something that, like, through film school, I was just putting on my school projects to have it like a name on there for some weird reason. But you know, when you get it, you get. If you're trying to do it on a big level, you end up in the studio and you end up, listening, having a lot of producers telling you what to do and this and that. And I wanted to take a bunch of filmmakers that were kind of outcast from that or hadn't, aren't at that level yet, and kind of be able to do projects we cared about, not for the money, not for because it's a big studio picture, because we love the projects. And so that's kind of the mentality of behind Seraph, is we find passion projects like Pasha, who, funded this whole thing, found the money himself, came to it with a script, someone that's more passionate about it than just the bottom line. Oh, we're going to make $125,000 the first month of this film, blah, blah, blah. That's all good. We want to make money, but right. It's more about passion projects. It's stressful at times because, at the end of the day, when the film's out and the distribution and, it's out there, you're responsible for making sure the residuals go out of it, or the royalties go out, or this and that. The K1s that tell you you lost your money, but you can take it off your taxes.
I love write-offs. That's great. Yeah.
So but it's ultimately the freedom it allows. Hopefully myself and other filmmakers. Hopefully it's worth the payoff for it. And I get to work with. Like I said, like you guys ask about the last. This Carpe Noctem set. We don't have arguments on our set. We don't have, big heated discussions and things like that, because we're all there because we love it. And no one's there just because, it's a paycheck. So we don't have, and if there is a disagreement, it's really quickly got together.
And it's coming from the right place, I guess.
Yeah,
It's all coming from. Yeah.
And it happened on Carpe Noctem several times. I pulled Pasha aside and like, here's how I'm seeing it. How are you seeing it? I saw it, and we work it out, and we move on. There's no like, well, let's talk to this committee or this corporate thing and figure it out. So
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's super cool. Yeah, I hate it. Like I'll watch a movie and I'm like, how is it the 10 dudes in a room decided that this was the best way to go? And it's like nobody feels anything for this, and it could have been so much. Like you're saying, if somebody had the passion for it, if this was somebody's actual thing, it could have gone any which way. But instead, we get this bland soup. And it's just no good. So that's super cool that you're at least trying to have a space for for the people and the passion.
And I'm always amazed. The one story I have is a friend of mine was doing a Lifetime movie, and I had to go drop something off, so they gave me a pass to get on set and went to a trailer, this and that. But as I'm walking they had an entire block in Studio City blocked off, with cops on each end. They had a techno crane and 4 Reds. And anything you could possibly want as a filmmaker, equipment-wise, they had, and yet everyone was so miserable, and the DP was screaming at the director, and it was this, and like, you guys have the money to shut down the entire city block. You're making a movie. What do you have to be so angry about? And yet that's a lot of mentality on the big sets. So
yeah, no, for sure. Awesome.
I guess somebody got murdered outside somewhere.
It's maybe what's going on in my house. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, this has been really awesome. It's been great to meet you. Carpe Noctem is the movie. One more time, just like let everybody know like what it's about, and I guess we'll have to get back with you guys. So on Friday we can officially push out like where you can find it. But so yeah, what's going on with Carpe Noctem one more time?
yeah, hopefully it will be out soon. Hopefully we'll know. If you go to any of our social media, the actual website is carpenoctem.film. The new film extension, so carpenoctem.film. Everything's kind of preliminary there because we haven't released the trailer, we haven't released the official poster. But if you go there, you can follow us on all social media and stuff, and you'll get notifications of when we're actually starting to announce. And hopefully the media section will get filled up really quick. Starting with this podcast is like the official announcement here, the first of the PR for Carpe Noctem.
Yeah, feels good.
Thank you. And I'd like to know it's my first interview ever, and I thank you guys.
Really, we liked it. Yeah,
Pasha, you're awesome, dude.
Great.
don't let Drake say anything different.
Yeah, for real.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us, guys. Really sincerely appreciate it. Look forward to talking with you more.
It was great. Thanks, sir. Thanks, guys.
And that's our show, everybody. Thanks for listening. I am Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. We always appreciate you guys tuning in and commenting along and everything else. Go check out this show or any of our other shows on thescenesnobs.com. Thescenesnobs.com. We love you. You guys are awesome. And if you would like, follow and subscribe to our social media. That really helps us go a long way. And please spread the word. Tell your friends. Have them come in. We love feedback and everything else. So everybody, you have a great day. Again, thanks for listening. Thescenesnobs.com.